We all hopefully obey speed limits, but how are they made? Who makes them? And how can we change them? To answer these questions, I'm going to try and fill you in with a bit of history. The first speed limits were put into place in 1973 by the US government to help during the oil crisis. The nationwide speed limit was 55 miles per hour, which is a far cry from the 70 miles per hour and above speeds we see on today's road. But the hope was obviously lower speeds would help save oil. Now, the effectiveness of this method was questioned, so in 1995 that law was repealed, leaving the decision of speeds up to state and local government. So if you look on our map of the United States here, you can see different states have very different speeds. So how do they decide on that? Oftentimes, those in charge of putting the speeds in place, or traffic engineers, will use something called the 85th percentile method. And looking on our example road here, say traffic engineers are trying to decide on the speed limit of this new road. What they will do is set up a speed trap and watch cars pass by and monitor their speed. And once, say, 100 cars have passed by, they'll choose the 85th percentile, the 85th highest speed, and they will make sure that most drivers fall within 5 miles per hour above and below that speed. So say on our road 100 cars pass by and the 85th percentile is 75 miles per hour. As long as most drivers fall slightly above or below that speed, they'll use 70 miles per hour as the benchmark to make the speed limit, because this is oftentimes the speed most drivers feel is safe for this road. Now, once that speed limit has been decided on, they will then obviously put that through local law enforcement and make sure that most drivers are comfortable with that speed, and oftentimes safety boards will lower the speed slightly, so on that road where the speed limit could have been 70, it will oftentimes end up being slightly lower, say 60 miles per hour in our case. That raises the question, most drivers will tend to drive at the comfortable speed, which will be 70 miles per hour anyway. So why not just raise the speed limit up to 70? The NTSB did an investigation on this, and they actually changed the speed limits of different roads across the US, seeing what effect it had on drivers. And they found that most drivers have either two behaviors: A, which is to just drive at the comfortable speed, or B, which is to just drive 5 to 10 miles per hour above the posted speed limit, regardless of what they feel is comfortable. So say on our road here, the speed limit was 60 and it's been raised to 70. Now, some drivers who are on the riskier side of our percentile scale will drive 5 to 10 miles per hour above that speed, so 80 miles per hour, and they're going down the road. Now, if a new driver who isn't comfortable with this road, they're new and they aren't used to it, is driving slightly below, and say 65 miles per hour, and they cut in front of our friend here, that's not going to end well. That's a huge gap in speed. And this concurs with what the NTSB found, which was that while changing the speed limit didn't necessarily increase the number of accidents, it did greatly increase the severity of those accidents. So the NTSB, using that data, told local governments that it's probably best just to use the already established method because it is the best method we found and the happy medium to where we aren't endangering drivers. That being said, if you feel a speed limit change is needed in your area, go ahead and tell local government. In conclusion, you should put the safety of yourself and others first, and don't be afraid to, because something as simple as writing a letter or sending an email could make a huge difference and end up saving lives.